Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now we're on day 2 and it's quite exciting because I'm going to do quite a famous route, but I'll explain more using my expert map skills, actually get my dad to do it and explain where I'm going, but it's going to be epic. Well, here is my dad, who has drawn out on the map perfectly, of course, where I'll be going today. So obviously, I'm going to hand you over, but we're going to start Malvoisie just down here.
Okay, so this is Malvoisie where you are now. So you're going to come out of the village, do a right, go into Sauveterre, where the little pub is. Then you're going to do a left and go into Barbizon and out the other side. And when you get to the sort of main road, you need to do a right, not because it's part of the route, but simply to get fuel for the bike. So you go up to the roundabout where the motorway starts, and there's a Subaru supermarket, McDonald's and everything else there, and they do fuel. You then come back the way you've just come, and then you continue all the way back until you get to a place called Les-Barouches. And then you go through Les-Barouches, and you start to take the Tour de France, really famous route, up and away. And you get as far as you can along that road, because of the snow, as you get higher and higher, and it gets really high up there, you need to come off there and get onto one of the more main roads, which is still nice and twisty turny, and go all the way to Bagnères de Luchon, which is a big spa town, natural mineral waters and things like that. And there's also a ski resort there. And then you come off there and you take the road which takes you up towards other ski areas, and then you come off and do a right, and you want to go up another fine mountain road until you get to a tiny very local ski resort called Bourg de Hurle. And then you come all the way back down there again until you get back to Luchon, Bagnères de Luchon, and then you follow the road that you were down, the sort of more main road, until you get to the Garonne, the river Garonne with a bridge, and then you go to a right into Chaume, Fronsac, until you get up more towards Malvoisie, and you come past the lake at Saint-Péditaire and back to the house here.
Right, I'll see you later. Do you know how to make it go? Do you know how to make it go?
What?
Oh, you told me that, but how do I?
You have to twist a thingy. Yeah, not this one.
No.
The other one. Put it on video next time you want some help.
Okay.
I'll tell you all about motorbikes.
They won't hear you through this, but
This is like a steering wheel on a car. It's like a bra handle. A handle bra? Something like that.
well, here we go. I'm off to do apparently the world famous, one of the routes they did in the Tour de France. They're the people that are obsessed with spandex. I've got a fetish for spandex, wear leotards and puff and ride some amazing roads. So I have massive respect for them for, you know, riding the amazing roads. I'm just not into spandex. So I'm going to take my motorbike in my cool looking motorbike gear, and obviously with my Ruroc Atlas 4.0 that just makes me look uber sexy, and I'm going to try and do this route. Now obviously I'm going to get fuel first because I didn't fill up yesterday, couldn't find a petrol station. So I'm going to go to the petrol station first, fill up the bike, and then we've got quite a few miles to, I think it's something like 89 kilometres, but obviously there's a lot of twisties and bends and all this stuff. According to my dad, I go back to that same point, I'm just following his instructions because he's now a yokel and growing his 6th finger. So it should be amazing because he should know these things. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, when my dad was explaining the route that went on for a long time, he said a lot of names, and to be honest, none of that really went in. I kind of nod a lot and go, yep, and I haven't got a clue. So then I went on to obviously my phone and tried to go through these list of places to add so I can follow the sat nav. But he did write down the whole list, but I've left the list back at the house. So I am now relying that I got it right on the sat nav. So what I'm not going to do is guarantee that I'm definitely going to do the right route, because I might get lost, but we will find out as we go. But it's around 6 degrees at the minute, and in local time it's about 10:30 in the morning. Had a bit of a sort of a slow go this morning because I've been quite tired from everything that's been going on, but I wanted that kind of chill out day, so we'll see how this all pans out. It's supposed to be between sunny to cloudy with some rain later, so by me going out late is probably a bit daft, but I'm hoping when we get there we'll get this time some epic okay sunny weather and hopefully capture some amazing cinematic shots. That's my plan, but we'll see how it goes, because I'm going to get lost, it's going to go wrong. But as I keep saying, an adventure really is about that, exploring and getting lost. You don't get stressed when it happens or mardy, you just look around and go, do you know what, look where I am and look what I'm doing. And that's kind of how I roll. So that's the plan. So I'm going to bomb from here to the fuel, and once I've got fuel I'll check back in and we'll see what this route's really like. And I'm going to do my best today to try and save some of the battery life on some of the stuff, so I don't run out of batteries right at the key point. That's my plan as well. Anyway, let's get going. The bike is now full. I'm off of the main road and I believe that I'm at the start. So my first place I'm heading to is a place called Sarp, and then I'm going to follow it from there, and I believe that's what he told me to do. I hope I get this right. And then behind me is sort of some mountains. Hopefully you can see it where there's some snow on there. I kind of think that's where we're going. Again, could be massively wrong, but who cares? The bike is full. I'm going to jump on it and I'm going to hack down some of these miles and hopefully capture this awesome footage. If not, it's a nice ride out in the countryside. Right, here we go. This is where it should get pretty. Now, in my excellence of just putting the names in here and not taking anything with me other than the names I've got in Google Maps, it's step by step. So it's taking me into a town, into the middle or down a dead end, and then I have to click continue. So every so many miles I'm stopping and pressing continue. So it's like going through almost like a leg by leg stage of doing this trip. Well, I should figure out a way of ignoring that and making it do it by itself, or I don't know, linking up or doing something. So here we go again. I'll arrive here, then it will ask me to continue on to the next bit. We'll see how it pans out. But look at the prettiness of the old towns, like the old houses, and it's very French. It's very pretty. It's all very like proper solid thick stone, isn't it? There's no, like, we use bricks of course, and this is on the culture side very sort of thick, last for a million years built houses. I have arrived apparently. Now I have to click continue again to be able to continue. Only a little bit annoying. I'm going to stop here and do it because I'm getting a little bit annoyed. Continue. It's like you've got, in these little French villages, you've got like these quite grand looking kind of houses, and then like next door you'll have one where like the roof's collapsing in and you're looking and go, oh, I want to buy it and put the roof back on, and it'll probably cost a ridiculous amount of money to be able to kind of do them up so they're back to that standard. But there's a lot of buildings here that are like, I've got so much potential, and you just look at it and go, wow, what could I do with a place like that? Again, I'm not a multi-millionaire that could afford to buy one of these houses and do one of these houses up, but imagine having a house down here, beautifully looking over the Pyrenees mountains, jumping on your bike every day and getting to ride these kind of roads. Oh, it would be incredible, absolutely incredible. It's pretty riding alongside a little beautiful river as well. That's nice. Just love these little houses just specked all over the place. Aha, here we go. Here we go. This is the road. This is where it starts properly, I reckon. Look, because it's going straight up. This is where it's going to get exciting. Oh, look, very narrow and pretty already. Ha 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 ha. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. This is more like it. And I love the point that now the roads are pretty dry as well, where obviously yesterday everything was quite sort of wet, and obviously I just jumped on the bike, so I was a little bit getting used to it, and I didn't want to give it too much. I mean, I'm not giving it too much anyway, to be fair, because I'm not, you know, early sort of, well, late teens, early 20s. I don't want to thrash it around. I want to just enjoy the ride. But it's a lot more confident when you've got dry and you're on someone else's bike, because, you know, you want to look after it, as always. Anyway, just more and more power. So the one thing I do know is I can only go so far, because obviously the road's closed, and I've got an open date at the end of March, and all I can guess with the road closure is that it is just high and full of snow, or like this, quite narrow, quite bad. So you can only do it during the warmer time of year. It's got to be snow and ice, isn't it? So we'll see how far we can get, and then obviously we're going to turn around, come back on ourselves, go along that kind of mainish road again, and then obviously we're going to head into whatever the common next destination is already, but we're going to head to whatever that next destination is. I think it's Luchon, and then from Luchon we're going to go the other end back, sort of the similar way to where the road closes the other side, to get most of the view in. That's the plan, unless the weather changes. Now today it's supposed to be terrible weather again, and at the moment this is the nice bit, and apparently this afternoon is when it's going to, like, the heavens are going to open, it's going to pee it down, I'm going to get drenched. And because of all the stuff I had in my rucksack yesterday, I've left my waterproof sort of overlay thing at home on purpose, because I didn't want the weight, and I'm hoping I'll be back before it absolutely froze it down. But if not, I'm just going to get a little bit wet, and when I get back I'm going to have a big man hug with my dad to keep warm. Woohoo! Is that way or that way? No, it's that way. Fucking it. Jesus Christ, talk about making me fucking jump. Jesus, dog. I hope I'm on the right road and I'm not just driving down some farmer's track. What I might well be. Yeah, I think this is just some farmer's track. Is it? Or is it the road? Poopily poop. I don't know. I ought to stop and press continue. I think I've gone wrong. Sugar. Let's try and turn the bike around here. I don't think this is right. Oh, bollocks. Pretty view though. What's this doing? Poo, poo, poo. Right, I don't know, I'm going to have to go back past that bloody dog, aren't I? This is the wrong way, I think. Let's hope I don't get bit by the dog. This is definitely not the right road for this bike. Shit, the sat nav keeps switching off as well. Never mind. Let's hope I don't get bit. Is that someone's farm gate or not? Ah, this way. Good, good, good. I think this is the right way. what interests me, I don't know if I'm on this right road, because if you really think about it, would you really be riding a push bike up here? Really? I mean, as in, like, aren't they road bikes they do hundreds of miles on? Or am I wrong? I am going to stop here and figure this out before I go any further. Yeah, let's figure this out. Well, I seem to have gone a little bit wrong, because this is more like a track, and then the names I've put into Google Maps trying to go back to find out where I'm going seem to not navigate me, and now it seems to have lost it. So I'm a little bit lost, but I will figure something out. I mean, it's amazingly beautiful, but it turns out this track road is as far as I can go, I think, by looking at the signs, because it doesn't look like I could really go up there. Well, at least, I could, to be fair, but it looks like it just goes up and goes round according to the sort of map into this wooden bit and back, not up the mountain like I'd expect for them to do on the Tour de France. So yeah, this is going really well. Okay, so I'm guessing from this sign and this sort of track that I'm on, it's from this point there's no motor vehicles. Obviously it's got dogs on lead 10 metres away. It's obviously a right of way as such, but someone's land. What I've managed to do is find, I think, the next place I was supposed to go to. I'm going to have to keep going back one step at a time, but it's 3 minutes away. Well, I think it just takes me back off this road to the turning I was at, and I turn right, I think, but that's what we're going to do. But hey, for a place to be lost, just look at it. It's fantastic.